if you look at the national title odds at BetMGM, Gonzaga and North Carolina, both 9-1, the co-favorites to win the national title. Then you've got Kentucky and Houston at 10-1, Kansas, the defending champ, Arkansas and Tennessee, each at 14-1. Tonight, the Zags open with North Florida. UNC will host UNC Wilmington. When you look at Carolina, the number one team in the country, of course, getting all the way down to the championship game last year, what is it about this Carolina team that makes it so good?
The depth and the coaching. I think what's really good about Carolina is this is really the first time in a successful way, outside of when Matt Doherty was there for a couple of years, where you have a player who's not far removed from the players. And I think that's going to be so key for the survival, really, I think, of college basketball. Is like one of the programs that I actually have as part of my souvenir is from Hubert Davis's senior year, right? So you could say, hey, here's Hubert Davis, played here, sharpshooter in the NBA, played with some of those exciting Knicks teams, had a very viable NBA career. That's going to talk to the players and allow them to understand their roles. Once they understand their roles, your bench play is going to be much better. So here you have the head coach of the team who is an excellent bench player in the pros, who can tell you what it's like to play next to a star, to tell you what it's like to hit a key shot, and also to tell you what it's like to be ready and play only 7 to 10 minutes. If you can do that, that's a little different than, say, if you're Mark Few and you're philosophical and you're probably 30, maybe 40 years older than your players. You know, you're giving science, you're not necessarily giving application. And so North Carolina has the best application, I think, out there across all the teams. Duke, I think, will eventually get there because of Schreier, but I think it's going to be the Carolina show, and they may go on an incredible run.
Well, they certainly have plenty of talent with Bacot back and Caleb Love and R.J. Davis. They got better as the season went on. That was the one thing that was so much fun to watch with North Carolina, because you knew they had the talent there, and you thought, man, if these guys start playing up to that level that they can play at, which we all think they're going to do, then they can make a run. That's exactly what they did. Duke is not one of the favorites here, but I do want to mention it because it's hard to mention Carolina without Duke, and John Shire taking over for Mike Krzyzewski. It's just going to be weird to see Duke playing and not to see Coach K. And now he's never a fan of Coach K, whatever, but you can't deny his greatness. You can't deny his impact on the game. And Duke has a massive recruiting class coming in, number 1 overall this year, Tyrese Proctor and Derek Lively II. So Duke is a team, they'll always have the talent, but it will be interesting to see if they get the coaching that they've had for the past 40 years.
Yeah, Duke is going to be the Brooklyn Nets of college basketball, because what Krzyzewski's secret was that I can get you to stay here for a couple of years, to be able to first learn it and then win it, with the idea of there would be other guys who are already there who are there to help these young guys win it. Now Duke is really, when I see Duke, kids stay there shorter than the 4 letters in the name, right? So they are clearly now the new one and done, more so than even Kentucky. And Kentucky had been that mantle. So if you've got a one and done school and a rookie coach, my question is are things going to go in one year and out the other if you know that these kids are on their way to the NBA? So that's my concern for Duke, is that the environment hasn't changed in terms of one and done players, but the coaching environment is really changed.